A few days ago on Substack, someone reached me out and said, Fabio, I love what you do. So can you please create something on how to boost confidence? So I replied, hey, I actually published an episode on the topic. It was 2024. So you should check it out. And this person was thrilled and thanked me because, I share the link to her. But it made me realize that my discussion on self-confidence in 2024 might now be outdated. So I thought about creating a new episode on self-confidence today in 2026 to reflect any change and new insights from myself, from my study, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Hi guys, my name is Fabio from Journey to Success, and welcome. How many times have you seen your idol, your friend, or even your parent, your father, your mother, appear so strong and confident? So you might think, yes, that person looks confident, But the truth is, everyone has moments of doubt, regret, and insecurity. Confidence, guys, can often feel like a mirage, but at the times, it is like looking in a mirror that highlights our uncertainty when a lack of confidence is so clear. We regularly question whether we have enough confidence to move forward with certain projects, relationships, or realities, or not, or maybe we just think better how to improve ourselves, So your question is, how can you cultivate the resilience needed to ensure that these moments of self-doubt don't stay too long? Because that's the real question. The real question is not so much how to boost the self-confidence. It's more about how can resilience help me to automatically boost my confidence, So let's explore this together. But before going forward, as always, please subscribe so I know this is the right direction to lead you guys, to drive you and to guide you towards your journey to success. Let's get started, all right, as always. So today I would like to talk about the 5 stages of confidence. But before we dive into that, let's discuss why we sometimes feel a lack of confidence. So first of all, confidence is closely related to time and goal. Okay. For example, if you set a goal to lose a certain amount of weight within a specific time frame and you don't achieve it, you may feel discouraged and lose confidence. Okay. This is because you didn't meet your goal within the set time limit. And the same principle applies in everything, actually, but let's say also in school or any project. So if you don't allocate enough time to study for an exam, you might not pass, okay? Personally, I've experienced a lack of confidence in recent months because I set a specific time frame and goal for monetizing my efforts, but still haven't achieved that yet completely, which has been frustrating. And what does it teach us? Well, it teaches us that everyone has their down moments. It's a common experience, okay? Your people around you may hesitate to discuss this, maybe because of ego, the desire to appear in control, and need to seem like a leader to you, perhaps shame. But the truth is, we all go through tough times because we're human, and that's perfectly okay. It's perfectly fine. There is no need for explanations or justifications for the emotional, impactful situation we sometimes face. Okay. So the question here is how can we improve our confidence then? First, it is essential to set realistic time frames that align with achievable goals. Okay. Additionally, resilience is crucial. See, guys, it is really important to bounce back quickly after setback. When you mentally struggle, it can feel like you are in a dark place, okay? But it is necessary to stay there for a while. You have not to feel guilty. Because this time, the moment that you are down, allows you to reflect unconsciously. And even if it may seem uncomfortable, the truth is that without knowing, you are preparing yourself mentally and physically to gain the energy needed to move forward. Okay. However, it's also important not to stay in that state for too long. So take the time to reflect, express your emotions if necessary, but focus on standing up again. Okay. When you focus on that, you quickly reflect during moments of self doubt. The sooner you regain your confidence, the better you can move forward. So I just would I like to give this tip before to move forward, before to talk about the 5 stages of confidence. I hope you appreciate. That's what I learned during my months, years of self-doubt. Okay. It's important to bounce back quickly, but it's also important to reflect once you are on the floor. So so do both the things, and doing that, you simply move ahead. You're gonna move faster, towards your goals and towards your dreams. So now, what are the 5 stages of confidence? Stage one, it's I don't believe in myself, and simply I cannot do anything. This is the stage one. I like to share personal examples, as you know. So these days, I felt like I've been caught in a sandstorm with my project, guys. I had a lot of ideas and overwhelming situations to handle, but it felt suffocating. The sand, I was talking about the sandstorm, right? So the sand was touching my body, with a lot of wind. And over time, I became suffocated by self doubt. And thoughts sometimes start to snack in. Something like maybe my host and guest project are not helpful. Maybe I'm not as good as I thought. Maybe I should have chosen a different path. And eventually, my mind slipped into a dark place, filled with feelings of not being good enough. I found myself in a negative spiral of thoughts that I usually don't have. To add to this, I lost my job for external reasons. The American company I worked for decided not to invest in the Netherlands, where I live. And let's not talk even about responsibilities at home to fix as well. I mean, everything felt so overwhelming. But when you think too much, right? What happens? It can manifest physically. For some, it is a stomachache. For others, it can lead to real depression, and depression that can lead to unfortunate and stupid actions. In my case, I experienced intense headaches, proper migraine. Usually, I used to suffer migraine, even now, a little bit less. But in this case, I suffer some migraine. And as if thinking too much is too much for my brain, maybe. I don't know why. But anyway, maybe it's just something genetic, I guess. But anyway, you might wonder how I resolved this situation. Simply, I decided to take a break. I went to bed and watched the series Wednesday out of nowhere. Sometimes I was watching the series, sometimes I just closing my eyes. For me, the bed is merely a place for sleep and recovery, guys. I rarely allow myself to enjoy in the bed. However, in this example that I'm giving to you, resting helped me recharge and clear my mind of negativity. My advice for anyone going through similar challenges is this: find a comfort zone, a place where you can neutralize negative thoughts for a day or even longer. In my case, that was my bed with a show or movie. For someone else, maybe a chocolate, hot chocolate at their favorite cafe, or a day on the beach, for example. I don't know if the beach has always been a place for you to reconnect, for example, or a mountain. The key is to choose a comfort zone that truly brings you joy, okay? If your bed feels more like a place for crying and sadness, it's not the right choice for you, of course. So the point is not the bed itself. The bed, it's something for me just because I take joy from it. But depends, it's personal. So for me, when I feel some lack of confidence, I tend to overwork on my project, try to fix the uncorrectable, at the moment, overwhelmed by countless ideas. Paradoxically, my computer, where my work belongs, can energize me, but also drain my energy if I don't use correctly. But as I said before, immersing myself, in a movie on the bed, let's say Lord of the Rings series, while I enjoy pizza and popcorn at home, is my area of pleasure. For me, it's bliss. Okay, for you, can be something else. Find it and gain energy from it before you start again. Okay, so that's very important. Stage 2. I don't believe in myself much. I can do mediocre things. It may look the same stage as the first one, right? The fact to not believe so much. But stage 2 is the worst low point for me, in my opinion, rather than stage 1. Why? Because, see, in stage 1, guys, you're just starting, okay? If you have built something from scratch, it means that, or if you, let's say, you didn't start that properly, right? That project properly. Anyway, it means you acknowledge, regardless of your mood, regardless of your effort, that there is still room for improvement. Okay, especially for that people who have not started their project yet, and also in stage 1, for people already who are already built something, like in my case, we may occasionally fall into self-doubt. Okay, so a lack of confidence can catch us off guard. But the truth is, we have a solid foundation. We have already accomplished a lot, so we move forward as soon as we can. Okay. But stage 2, in my opinion, is silently dangerous. In stage 2, you start finding excuses. Things like, I am mediocre because I don't have enough money to boost my podcast. Just an example, no? Since we are in a podcast here. Or I don't believe in myself much because someone said another podcaster is better. This is the worst stage. Let me tell you, there has been a moment in these days when I thought the same way. I was thinking something like, if only I had more money, I could push the podcast better. If I were a native English speaker, I wouldn't need to like Grammarly to help correct my script. And so, meanwhile, I also experienced a bit of what felt like imposter syndrome. But then I stopped myself and say, no, hold on, Fabio. You are going too far with these thoughts, too much far. Your mind is traveling on a fantasy, and you need to land now because you are going too much far, okay? And unfortunately, not everyone has the mindset to stop these negative thoughts. So my advice is to realize that you are abandoning yourself in fantasies. That's it. Yes, I know it sounds strange, but it's true. These thoughts arise from baseless assumptions aimed at filling an ego that is struggling with visible progress that is, in fact, quietly present, okay? Of course you're progressing, of course you do. It's like the roots of a tree. So it is progressing, but it's hard to see this progress, but doesn't mean that it's not there. Additionally, these thoughts uh, they distract you from your real focus, your real goals. Okay, so it's like climbing 60% of a mountain, guys, and then looking up, thinking, "Oh my God, there is so much to do. I cannot do this. It is too much far. I give up." But you have already reached 60%. So look down. Look how much you did already. Look how much you made it. You've accomplished so much already. And even if you made it 20 or 30%, that's still a significant effort. And it is more than other people have done yet. So don't give up. You deserve more, okay? Stage 3. I believe in myself, but only in my room. Stage 3 is interesting. It is when your soul knows you are capable of learning and improving in a hobby or vocation you have, but you don't take action. It is a mix of everything. It is not solely about a lack of confidence. It can involve time, what people think, the comfort of being at home. It's easier to do what feels safe in your room or your house or your own or your car than to show up outside. It's easy. So let's say you're actually a gifted guitarist. You can achieve so much and perform. You may perform outside, but you also fear disappointment if something goes wrong. You might freeze up while playing. So essentially, or simply you don't have time, So essentially, stage 3 is everything about resistance. Okay. So how can I help you with this stage? Very simple. And I'll tell you this clearly. One day you will die. Okay. You will die. We will die. One day we will die. Maybe tomorrow you're going to wake up and think about the next song you want to play on your guitar, in your room, of course. But what if a meteor were to hit you, and you crash to the ground? Bomb. Can happen. Based on the AI, we're talking about at 0.0000625%. It can happen. The point is, we only live once, guys. And while we know what our minds can conceive, we don't know how much time we actually have. That's the truth. Hello, guys. Just a quick break. Here at Journey to Success, I want to welcome you into something special, the Journey to Success Club. It is more than just a newsletter or something you already know. You will become part of the club. When you subscribe for free, you will be the first to know when new episodes are out, with inspirational notes and audience growth tips to fuel your own journey. And if building a solid community that supports your dream has always been your goal, there is a premium section waiting for you, filled with guidance, my recommendation, one-to-one DM support, and the same framework that helped me grow my community from 0 to 1,000 subscribers in just 5 months. Join us now at journeytosuccessclub.substack.com or just click the link in the description. We're in this together, guys. Now, back to the show. Why did I get the guitar example anyway? I've always wished to play the guitar. Every part of me craves it. But right now I'm very busy with my podcast, with my project. I mean, I enjoy writing. I've come to realize that I truly love it. when I write for my podcast, I feel at home, guys, as if I belong in a universe where space and time have their own rules, you know? However, I've always wanted to explore something else. So in this case, I find myself in stage three in this particular case, not because of lack of confidence, but because of time and priorities. But still, as I said, stage three is more about resistance, okay? But I'll tell you something. If tomorrow a meteor were to hit and smash me to the ground, I would be very, very grateful that I didn't dedicate time to learn the guitar because I know that I will love it. And by the way, you should feel the same way. You should feel sad about it. Stage four, do believe in myself and what I do. This is where I officially stand. I believe in myself and my work. I am in position where I cannot go back. Okay. I've invested too much time and made too many sacrifices to do that. Starting over would cost me more energy than continuing what I have already built, basically. My numbers are growing, everything points in a positive direction for my project, so I'm very happy. So at this stage, I also finally have some confirmation from others, whether it's a message from my community or positive feedback reflecting the numbers. People are listening to me and see me. It took 3 years, but here we are. Yes, I occasionally have small doubt, not even occasionally, more rarely, let's say, mostly because I'm overwhelmed. So I should work a little bit more about that, about, my energy. But I also know that I'm a human being, there is nothing wrong with that. It's okay to express this emotion in a way to build your next version of yourself better, The important thing to remember is that this stage is a great opportunity to gain momentum and move forward, okay? You need to be patient. It's a stage where it's important to be patient. I know that it can be frustrating sometimes because progress can feel both close and far away at the same time, That's my case right now. But if you start from scratch, I mean, it's like climbing up to 80% of a mountain, then cutting the rope that kept you secure the entire way, causing you to fall to the ground, I mean, would you do that? I wouldn't. Stage 5. I can create whatever really I want. I'm powerful. Stage 5. In this case, I would like to read this chapter from an article on Medium, restia.medium.com. And so her name is Ray, and she gave me actually indirectly the stage inspiration. So I took the title from her article. But in this case, I would like to read the stage 5, the fifth stage. So she said, the goal of confidence is not just to overcome insecurity. The goal is to be a version of yourself that believes that you could do anything if you put your mind to it. So at the stage 5, you know now. Others' opinions and assumptions about you are, others' opinions and assumptions about what she meant is that other opinion assumptions about who you are, about what the people say about you, are just assumptions. Evidently, I pasted wrongly. Sorry, guys. Number 2, growth mindset is bigger than fixed mindset. That's why I confidently and humbly believe I'm not in stage 5, guys, because I'm working to make my growth mindset stronger than my fixed mindset. Number 3, life is tough, but you can handle it if you believe you can. Number 4, everyone starts at the beginning. Progress is to be celebrated, not hidden. Number 5, confidence takes practice. The wider the comfort zone, the wider your opportunities in life. And number 6, value is innate. And something I want to add is that you're already valuable, guys, okay, just by existing. Then she say also, with this truth in your heart, something magical happens. You're not only acting with confidence, but you have also begun to feel like a confident person. So it's no longer just about all your accomplishments and visible capabilities. You are confident because it has become a part of your identity. You now believe you are a confident person. I think it is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful chapter. So, guys, before we wrap up, all right, it is vital to acknowledge that this complex emotion impacts everyone, regardless of their external appearance, regardless of your appearance, regardless of your success, regardless of what you have achieved already. We have all experienced moments of self doubt, okay? And these moments don't define our worth or potential, okay? This is very important to understand. It is easy to look at others like friends, family, VIP, and assume they are always confident. The truth is that behind that facade, many have their own insecurities and doubts. So in our conversation, we delved into the topic of confidence and how it is linked to our goals and the timelines we set for ourselves. When those timelines are not met, guys, or when we face setbacks, it can lead us into a dark spiral of negative self-talk and reduced self-belief. The important takeaway here is that it is okay to feel this way. What matters is how we respond to those feelings, okay? So the 5 stages of confidence we discussed before represent a journey, a process, rather than an endpoint. So the first stage, marked by profound self-doubt, can feel isolating and overwhelming. So many of us can relate to being consumed by negative thoughts, especially when life throws unexpected challenges our way, all right? My recent experience reminded me that taking a step back, allowing ourselves to rest, and sometimes even disengaging, from our thoughts can provide a much needed rest. So in our fast-paced lives, guys, this fast life, we often neglect the benefits of this simple act of self-care, truly. Resilience, of course, emerges as a recurring theme on this journey. Learning how to bounce back quickly after setback is crucial for developing ongoing confidence to reach, of course, your goal faster. And this resilience doesn't mean suppressing our emotions, guys. We're not talking about that. Rather, it's about understanding them and allowing ourselves the space to reflect before moving forward, okay? When we give ourselves grace during tough times, guys, we prepare ourselves mentally and physically for the challenges ahead, okay? And as we navigate through our identity, it is essential to set realistic goals. This involves recognizing that we can achieve everything, but within a specific time frames, and understanding that setbacks are part of the learning process, okay? And especially adjusting our expectations and being flexible in our approach and alleviate the pressure we place on ourselves. Well, let's say that they can be great ingredients to shape yourself into a second version that one day would make you very happy, Finally, lastly, I encourage everyone to embrace the journey of self-discovery and grow. So confidence is not a linear path, guys. It's filled with ups and downs. Remember that every experience, positive or negative, shapes who we are and build our character, okay? Sharing our vulnerabilities, just as I did today, for example, can boost connection and give others the courage to do the same. And as you reflect on today's insight, consider what small steps you can take to cultivate and boost your confidence, whether it's setting achievable goals, practicing self-care, seeking support from others, or simply allowing yourself to rest, okay? Every effort counts. But now, I want to hear from you guys. Which stage of confidence are you in right now? And be honest with yourself, okay? What is one thought or pattern you're working to shift? Send me a message, share your story, or connect with me on Substack. I would truly love to hear where you are in your journey. And if you enjoyed today's episode, guys, you know how important it is to subscribe, of course, so you never miss an update. But what matters even more is sharing this episode with someone who might be struggling with self-doubt and needs this reminder, okay? Thank you so much for being here on Journey to Success. And remember, confidence is not about having no doubt. It's more about moving forward despite it. And then a boost of confidence will follow. I'll see you in the next episode. Cheers.